That's good.
I was so awkward the whole time.
You were awkward.
My first answer was like.
This is the hot seat, and in the hot seat we have
Coach Porras, the head volleyball coach.
And Coach Rutledge.
what subject do y'all teach and coach?
I teach Algebra 2 and I coach, I'm the head volleyball coach.
And
and junior high basketball.
I coach geometry, teach geometry, coach JV volleyball, and head golf.
What do y'all like about being a coach / teacher?
I like being competitive coaching wise. I like getting out of the classroom. And teaching, I like math.
I would say for both things, I just like seeing kids do things they didn't think they could do. Like the situation we found ourselves in last Saturday, we're down 8-13. Set 5, the percentage of winning when you're down like that is really low. So to see kids do something like that is just really special. That's works in the classroom too.
What college did y'all attend?
I first went to Lobo Christian University, but I graduated from UTPB.
I went to Angelo State, played golf.
What inspired you to be a teacher and a coach?
I'm gonna make you go first every time.
Oh my gosh, that's probably the hardest one because I think honestly when I became a mom, that's when I was like, I want to teach, and then I thought if I'm going to teach, I'm going to coach because I really liked coaching volleyball.
I grew up in a school. Both my parents were teachers, and my dad was a coach, so I was a little gym rat growing up, and I don't know, I've always associated school with my family, and so that's kind of why I wanted to stay. It's always felt like home to me.
How do you stay organized with schoolwork and volleyball?
A lot of outside personal time organizing my stuff. Outside school hours for sure. Making calendars. Having people remind me to do things like Coach Rat. So yes, definitely a lot of personal time to keep me organized.
Yeah, just managing your time. You really even have to schedule time where you do nothing. I mean, that's really important for both of us. Like when we get home after practice every day, it's an hour of nothing. Like that is scheduled. So, I mean, to a T, our day is pretty busy. We go from, if we have early morning, we go from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. on a normal basis. So,
what are some challenges of being a coach and a teacher?
For coaching and just getting people to buy in when they're not happy where they're at in a position or on a team, I think the hardest part is connecting with that student athlete and letting them know that they do have a spot and they are just as important whether they're on the court or not on the court. So I feel like that's the hardest part, is making those tough decisions.
I agree with that too, and just to build off of it, like kids will break your heart. That's the most challenging part of being a coach. You can pour everything into a kid and then all of a sudden they'll turn on you, and parents can be the same way sometimes too. So that's probably the most challenging part of being a coach. For a teacher, it's just like getting kids engaged, especially in a math class,
yeah.
Right? So like a bunch of y'all just don't want to be there, and that's okay.
I love geometry.
Oh, I think you agree. So that's one of our challenges, is just getting y'all to be engaged and to care at school every day.
Okay, this question is for Coach Porras. Is it hard being the head coach volleyball and a teacher?
Yes. Well, as far as like the administrative paperwork side, like being a coach and being a teacher are probably the easiest things that I'm doing, but it's all the paperwork that goes outside of doing that. So if I just had like one extra prep period, that would be great, because there's a lot of paperwork that I have to do that I usually do during lunch or just on my own time. But that would be the hardest part. But doing them together, they're literally my two favorite things. So.
And then Coach, what's your favorite part about geometry?
That it's not algebra. That's the best part of geometry.
It's not math.
Like geometry is all number crunching and graphing and telling me everything about this graph. And geometry, you actually get to like think. You have to think, and that's what I like about it.
If you weren't a teacher / coach, what would you be doing?
I would be an accountant. That was my first my first degree plan.
Should have stuck with that. You'd be so rich right now.
Yes.
I was almost an athletic trainer, so that's probably what I'd be doing now too. It's what my minor is.
What's the biggest thing you need on the court?
From like players or for like myself?
Like players.
Players. For me, effort. That's the biggest thing I need. You don't have to be the most skilled or anything like that. As long as you come into practice and give the best effort, that's all I need.
100%. I mean, even if you make a mistake, as long as you make that mistake going 100 miles an hour, you're good, you know? That and energy. Right, Bree? Positive energy.
What's some goals y'all have for the volleyball season?
Well, small goal is district champs. And I don't mean small as in like minimizing, I just mean short-term goal. Long-term goal is to go further than we did in the playoffs than we did last year. So, which are both big goals. But I think it's definitely something we can do.
My short goal right now is to beat Greenwood tomorrow.
That's even shorter, yeah.
Even shorter, but yeah. I mean, I expect to win every game we play from here on out. That's our goal for volleyball.
What are your expectations for student athletes in terms of commitment, attendance, and academic performance?
Very high expectations on all those, especially academics. Like we just were talking about that this morning. Like we're just held at a higher standard, and we want everybody to take care of the classroom stuff first, and that's first and foremost. And then, of course, to buy in and be 100% committed to volleyball while you're in volleyball.
Yeah, any kid that does extracurriculars, whether that's athletics, UIL, what you guys do, theater, I mean, y'all are the ambassadors of the school. Mm-hmm. So y'all have to be the best of the best. Y'all are the ones that everybody sees. So that's why y'all are held to that higher standard.
How do you encourage and foster sportsmanship and teamwork among your players?
Lots of talking.
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, we talk a lot, and sometimes I do like whole group talk, and sometimes I just take the player and talk to them alone and just check on them. Usually, not like having the best attitude or something has nothing to do with volleyball, and it's something else. So I usually just try to communicate and make sure they're okay, and checking on mental health first, because sometimes that affects the game.
And just explaining that y'all don't have to be best friends off the court. No, you just have to respect each other on the court. And lots of talking. I mean, we preach communication all the time, and that helps all relationships, not just volleyball, but everything.
Can you describe your communication style with both players and parents to keep them informed and engaged in the program?
Yes, I communicate a lot. I try to let everybody know what I'm thinking. So sometimes, again, I talk to the whole group. Sometimes I pull the girls in individually. Parents, I usually just, everything that needs to be announced is on SportsU. But every now and then we do have to pull a parent in, and we'll contact or talk to any parent that wants to visit with us. Open door policy for sure.
Yeah. And we're both really direct, even if it comes off as rude sometimes, but you're always going to know like how we feel and where you're sitting. There's never a guessing game with us. It's black and white.
Okay, and last question. If you had a sum of how many times you've got hit in the head, how much would it be?
Too many times to count. I know the worst time that I ever got hit in the head, my glasses like flew like 10 feet away. Like, it was just like they flew across court. They didn't break, though. But then I had, like, a bruised nose for, like, about a week. Yeah. So, we need hard hats.
Yeah. Back when I first started coaching, I was not the smartest about positioning myself in the right spot to not get hit. I was just kind of, doo-doo. And I remember Macy Irons got up on one day, and it just, boom. And I saw stars. It was magnificent.
Yeah, I would too.
Swing, that is. But yeah, we get hit in the head a lot.
Yeah.
Not lately. I feel like in our old age, we've learned.
Bree hit me in the last home game we had. Yeah.
Oh.
And I did have a sore nose right here.
Because she
my
kept
glasses
letting it off the tape. Yeah, it just...
I'm sorry. Okay, well, thank you for coming.
Of course.
And
Thank
being
you.
in the video.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bree. Yeah.
Was I supposed to say that?
You said great.
Okay.